Alrighty, hello everyone, and welcome to Cinderfall Gaming. My oh my, isn't it an exciting time? We have the brand new Age of Sigmar FAQs up, so I can't wait to get in and chat about all of these with all of you. So what we're going to do is we're going to go have a look at the core rules changes first, and then we'll go army by army through the entirety of the FAQs and just sort of talk about them all, see what's changed, see what's been highlighted since the day one FAQs for AOS 3.0 rather. So without further ado, let's get cracking on into it. You can see everything's been updated to 27th of the 8th, including Broken Realms 1. Oh, Warhammer Legends Endless Spells even got an update, which is cool. Warhammer Legends. Okay, this is nice. And we can see not everything is up there yet. Battletome, Ideneth, Lumineth, Nighthorn, all not updated yet. Flesh Eater Court's not updated either. Does this mean that these are coming in White Dwarfs, or have we just not got everything out yet? So, 2nd to the 7th, it does appear that not everything is up quite yet. So maybe we're jumping the gun on this one a little. But let's get cracking on and let's have a look and see what we have. So, couldn't see the core rules. Did I just miss them or am I blind? But you know what? Screw it. We're just going to start from the top. So, let's have a look at Beasts of Chaos. So, for starters, what has changed here? So we've got Ungor Raiders, Bang Anger. Add 1 to the Rune rolls for shooting attacks made by this unit while it has 10 or models. 10 or more models. So normally it was add 1 to hit rolls, but this is nice seeing it change to add 1 to wound rolls. So these ones here, as you can see, they are updated on the 27th of the 8th. So that is today, as you can see. So some of these are the 27th of the 8th and updated. So they're the brand new FAQs, mate. Made me double check myself there. I was pretty sure I was right, and then I got all my dates confuzzled. But yeah, so I like this. Ungor Raiders normally have +1 to hit when they had the models in the unit, and it was 20+. So now it being 10+ and being +1 to wound means they can make use of all-out attack, which is nice. And Dragon Ogres gained the elite keyword, which is really cool. Something we've found in our battle reports when we've been doing Beasts of Chaos. These are the new FAQs. So some of the FAQs for Age of Sigmar are up. So we're going to be having a look at them all, old man. So Dragon Ogres gained the elite model keyword. I believe that is everything that has been updated. I don't think we've seen anything change on the endless spells or the Herdstone, so that's all sweet. But a couple of nice changes. Dragon Ogres gaining elite is really cool, and Ungor Raiders Baying Anger is really nice as well, meaning they can make use of all-out attack. So next up, as you can see, yeah, these are brand new ones. So updated 27th of the 8th, 2021. So we'll check out Blades of Khorne next, and we're looking for the magenta highlighted stuff. So Legions of Chaos rule states 2 in every 4 units in the army can have a coalition unit from the Slaves to Darkness faction that has the Mark of Chaos keyword. Can I include units that don't have the Mark of Khorne? Of course, the answer is no. They must be Khorne units. What else have we got? Coalition units. So coalition units do not count towards the number of battle line units in your army. However, they do count towards the maximum number of leader behemoth and artillery units in your army. Coalition units cannot be generals. In addition, coalition units are ignored when determining if the units in your army are from a single faction. So they are still battle lines. So this was a big one with coalition units. I'm assuming this is going to be the same on everything with coalition. Whether they count as battle line when on the table. So that is, in fact, what they do. So they don't count as battle line when you're getting your organization. So they can't be one of your 3 mainstay battle line units in a 2,000 point army. But what they can be is they can be counted as battle line for certain scenarios that require battle line units on the table. However, they always count for being maximum units. So for your leader behemoth and artillery, if you include them, they do take up slots in those particular things, obviously because they limit you in that, so you're not gaining anything from the allies. And so designers note coalition units are not allied units, so the limitations that apply to allied units do not apply to them. This means that coalition units can be given one of your army's enhancements as long as they have the correct keywords or are a correct unit type needed to receive it. So nice. That's just a nice little clarification of what they can get. And so Banners of Khorne, Banner of Wrath. At the start of the combat phase, roll a dice for each enemy unit within 8 inches of the bearer. On a 4+, the unit suffers D3 mortal wounds. So let's have a look. What was the Banner of Wrath? I am not all that familiar with Khorne. So if anyone in the chat knows what the Banner of Wrath did. So what are we looking at? Blood letters, isn't it not? Yep. Let's just double check what Banner of Wrath previously did. Oh no, Banner of Wrath is not. So that must be an artifact. Cool. But you know, all right. Do some mortal wounds. Nice. And then we've got Judgments of Khorne. Delete all the rules on this page. Judgment of Khorne. Use the rules for invocations. This is a big one here because this means invocations count as a prayer. So this means no longer can you cast multiple prayers with a priest. They get either their prayer or an invocation unless they become a 2-cast priest, which I would assume later in the game we're going to see 2-cast priests come in and be a thing. And so that is Blades of Khorne. Cities of Sigmar, my personal favorite army in the game. What do I get? And so coalition units, with the exception of Aventus, Firestrike, and a Hammerhawk army. So yeah, the obvious exception to coalition units, Aventus Firestrike gets extra rules when he's your general in Hammerhall, so he gets the exception to the rule. So Mages of the Wi-Fi Court, you change the rule to Hallowheart Wizards can attempt to cast 1 extra spell in your hero phase. In addition, Hallowheart Wizards know 2 spells instead of 1 from the Law of Wi-Fi. This is cool. So this means Hallowheart's back to having the 2 spells that it used to have and casting and not needing to use an enhancement. Awesome. Hallowheart is what it was, which is really nice. And then standing contracts. So they've just added Cities of Sigmar and Tempest Eye keywords just to make sure the coalition stuff all works properly for the cities. And so that's pretty nice. I like that change to the cities. Make sure that Hallowheart just keeps up and no other changes. A big change to how this works. We'll get into that in a sec. But we've got Daughters of Cain up as well. So Shadow Queen. Cool. Heartrender has a rend of 2 again. We are in that back and forth game of Heartrender. Is she rend 1? Is she rend 2? She is rend 2 once more. Bloodwrack Shrine. A Bloodwrack Shrine is a single model armed with a Bloodwrack Stair. Yep, so cool. They're just clarifying the crew and all that of the Bloodwrack Shrine. And do we have anything else? No, that appears to be it for Daughters of Cain. Solid, you know. I don't get why all this stuff. We've changed the rend characteristic of Morathi's weapon has been changing so much. It was Rend 1, then it was Rend 2, then it was Rend 1 again, and then it got FAQ. The FAQ disappeared, so it was Rend 1. And finally, it is Rend 2. Awesome. Morathi having a Rend 2 weapon is nice. Disciples of Tzeentch. Horrors up to 700 points confirmed? Maybe not. So the Legions of Chaos rule states 2 in every 4. Yep, so this is just the coalition rule again added to Tzeentch. Coalition units, yep. Horrors of Tzeentch. Replace this war scroll with the one in this document. Okay. Horrors of Tzeentch have a brand new war scroll. Let's check this out. So, when you pick a unit to be part of your army, you must decide if this unit will either have the split and split again ability or the Petty Vengeance ability. Yep. Petty Vengeance is when they do. So adding and removing split and split again. Yep. Petty Vengeance. Pretty cool. So adding and removing horrors. I think this is where we're all interested in. So replacement models that are added to this unit must be set up one at a time within 1 inch of the position that was occupied by the model they are replacing. Replaced models that are added to this unit can only be set up within 3 inch of an enemy unit if that model from the unit was within 3 inch of the enemy unit to begin with. Replacement models added to this unit can take it above its maximum size. So, yeah, so how you have to replace your horrors effectively when you split them, they have to pop in the same spot that they were, so you can no longer die here and string out across the table. I like that. That's a nice change to horrors. And I think if I'm looking here, they have lost their 6-up ward from what I can see, which is good. Like, Horus did not need a 6-up ward. They were bad enough. And then, yeah, so we've lost, there is no 6-up ward on Horus anymore. Nice. So Horus that flee cannot split and split again. If Horus splits and split again, it is immediately removed from play and the replacement models are added to the unit before the next wound or mortal wound is allocated to the unit. A horror that is removed from play because it has split and split again does not count as a slain model for the purposes of Battle Shock rules, and it cannot be returned through the use of rules that allow you to return slain models to the unit. So you cannot return models that have been split and split again. This is massive. Really, really good ruling. Like, I like this. I did my 10 things I'd like to see for Horus. I like the horror models. I like the idea of these gibbering masses that split. And it's such a cool thematic rule on the table. But boy, was it horrible to play against. So, really, really solid change there for the horrors. And hello to everyone in the chat. I hope you're all doing well. We've got Fireslayers up next. And what do we get here? So we've got Magma for Invocations. Once again, they use all the words for invocations, replacing all that stuff there. And I think that's it for Fireslayers. Cool, nice and simple. Just that Magma Invocations changing. Gloomspite Gits, another one of the armies I actually play, so we'll know a little bit more about how this goes. Nothing's changed on the Bad Moon. Squid Hoppers, boing, boing, boing. After this unit has made a normal move, or run or retreat, pick one enemy unit and roll a dust for each one of this unit that passed across the unit for each 4+, and they suffer a mortal wound. Cool. Squid Hoppers do mortal wounds when they pass over enemy units. I really like that. That is definitely solid. Sort of. Arcus. I did see that. Where are we? The Bale Winds. All the way down here. Warhammer Legends. It's not back. It's a legend unit. It won't be legal in match play tournaments. So no need to worry about that. And so what have we got here? We've got Slaanesh. So once again, the Legions of Chaos rules and Coalition rules all updated nicely. Do we have points changes for Slaanesh to make them play? No. All right, that's it for Slaanesh. I'm sorry, my Slaanesh friends. That is all we get for you. Nothing for Slaanesh here to help them. Yeah, so the Balewind Vortex, we'll go chat about that. It's a Legends unit, so it generally won't be allowed in match play in any tournaments. Caradron Overlords. Alrighty, so Caradron were one of those ones that had a lot of the actually I can do this. So, can another spell that was cast with a spell in a bottle enhancement be controlled by the bearer? No. So, yeah, all endless spells that come out of spell in the bottle are wild if they are predatory. If I use the Fly High ability to disengage with a unit, can that unit still shoot or charge later in the same turn? It can still shoot as per the disengage ability, but it cannot charge. Can I use the Fly High ability instead of making a normal move that is granted by an effect? For example, can I use the Fly High ability instead of moving with the Scent Tracking Battalion ability from the Pitch Battle Profiles 2021, or the There's Always a Breeze if you look for a Zilfin ability? Yes to both. Yes to both questions. Cool. So KO can totally do the thing. And then if a flying transport rule is in the Battle Regiment Core Battalion, can the other units from the same battalion be set up inside that unit's garrison when the battalion is set up? Yes. Alrighty. Well, that's a big one for the KO, is their whole thing works, but they can also not control endless spells. Alright. But really, really solid. Good just to have clarification on the rules. I like it. Maggotkin of Nurgle. Once again, the Coalition units. Is that all we get for Nurgle? Yep, that seems to be everything we're getting for Nurgle. So just the Coalition rules clarified there for us. Once again, Ogre More Tribes. Another army I actually play, so I might understand. Rule of the Interwinder, Rhyme Shroud, subtract 1 from hit rolls from missile weapons. Cool. Anything else? That is it for Ogres. Just a -1 to hit on one of their artifacts. Not much to really talk about there. Oops, we opened a new tab. We will get rid of that. And Auric Warclans. I don't think anything. There's no changes to Auric Warclans. Okay. Apparently, nothing changed for Warclans. What do we got? Ossiarch Bone Reapers. So this is going to be an interesting one. See how Relentless Discipline is affected. All right. Using Relentless Discipline, the restriction that you cannot use the same command ability more than once on the same phase does not apply to the command abilities used with Relentless Discipline points. For example, you can use the Shield Wall command ability on the Mortek Guard War Scroll more than once in the same phase, as long as the command is issued by a model that has not already issued the command in the phase. So you can't have a model give out multiple of the same command, but you can receive. So this means each unit of Mortek Guard, each of their leaders in their units issues it. Cool. As long as their units are alive, they pretty much function how they used to, which is really, really solid. This makes them much more playable in the new edition, and answers probably the biggest thing to them. Really cool down here. Elite, Immortus Guard, Necropolis Stalkers, Morghast Archive, Morecast Harbingers, all gain elite. They can all use command abilities as if they had a champion. And then we've got Arc in the Black. In addition, this model can attempt to cast Arcane Bolt any number of times. Of course, this is stopping Mystic Shield multiple times now, I believe is the thing with this. So, nice. I really like these changes for Bone Reapers. I think this is some solid changes for Bone Reapers. What are people thinking of the FAQs so far that they've seen? Any that stick out to you as major ones you're liking? Seraphon. Yeah, that Lickman 24, it makes perfect sense. In all honesty, I completely agree with you. So, first thing, Seraphon, does the Coalesce Battle Trait Scaly Skin apply to mortal wounds? No. So you never halve damage from mortal wounds. Drain Magic has a casting value of 9. If successfully cast, all spells within 24 inches of the caster and that are not bonded are dispelled. Sweet, that's a good change to the spell. Saurus Sunblood, Center Weakness. You can use this command ability when you pick a friendly. Add 1 to the wound rolls for attacks made by that unit. All right, sweet. A cool change to the command ability, going to allow you to use this in conjunction with other things to get +1 to hit. Skaven, I don't think we've done. I think Skaven are going to be the next one. Gumlass. And Seraphon, Engine of the Gods, add the Priest keyword. Nice. Really, really happy with that. Endless Spell, gain the Priest keyword on the Engine of the Gods. Makes total sense. It used to always be a Skink Priest on top of it. I mean, the Bone Reapers one is really important as well. It makes Bone Reapers play like they should. I think the Bone Reaper one is really important for them. Like maybe not as game-wide important as the KO Fly High and other abilities, but I really do think the Bone Reaper one makes them a lot more of an option. Skaven now, Gumlass. So if you're watching, don't forget to drop a like on the video as well and help everyone come and find the channel and join in chatting with us all. So Skaven, so Verminlord Warp Seer Scry Orb, you add 1 to your save rolls for attacks that target this model. In addition, once per phase in your shooting phase, you can pick one enemy unit within 13 inches of the model. You suffer D6 mortal wounds, but you can't get the +1 save for the rest of the game. Solid, and I think that's because it's re-rolls now, isn't it, currently? So that is a big nerf to the Verminlord Warp Seer there, if I am remembering the rule correctly. A giant wave of rats. The Ren characteristic of the unit's vicious teeth is 2-inch while it has 6 or more models. In addition, add 1 to wound rolls for attacks made by this unit if it has 6 or more models. Cool, so the giant rats get pretty sweet. So yeah, get extra range and they add 1 to the hits. Sweet, I like that. I mean, they're still units of 6, but it's nothing really big for Skaven, is it? In all honesty, I think a lot of this stuff changes much. Slaves to Darkness. All right, the Eye of Ed Sheeran for Archaon. Here's a big change. Once per battle at the start of your hero phase, you can say that Archaon will use the Eye of Ed Sheeran. If you do so, subtract 1 from hit rolls. So that's the one where it currently makes you reroll 6s, if I'm not correct. So it's now a once per game ability to subtract 1 to hit. So this is a big nerf because it doesn't help him in Tzeentch anymore because he's already -1 to hit in Tzeentch just by being a demon. So this doesn't stack with anything there. Solid change to that. Varangard gaining elite, good. They should always have had it. As soon as they started adding that word into the game, should have been a thing. Slaughterbrute and the Mutileth Beast both have Mark of Chaos added. Really cool. I really like that. You can take a Slaughterbrute in any Chaos army and a Mutileth Vortex Beast in any Chaos army now. Awesome. I absolutely love the Mutileth Vortex Beast model. So that will be definitely one I'm keen to remember. The Archaon change is definitely big here, though. No more rerolling 6s. They're like, no. We're going to have none of that. Just you don't get it. So, cool. Going on to Bielacour. Krulgast Excruciator. The Deathless Spirits battle trait negates wounds and mortal wounds allocated to friendly Nighthaunt units wholly within 12 inch of any friendly empowered Krulgast Cruciators on a 5+. Cool. Solid little update to the rule. Kragnos. Do we get anything here? Sinessa keywords. Oh, okay. Sinessa. Add the wizard keywords to the keyword section on Sinessa. All right. Nice. I'll take that. That's solid. I don't think anything else changes in here. But Sinessa gaining the keyword is nice. Broken Realms Marathi. Coalition units for the city stuff just updated. I think that's going to be all we see. So technically, Harkuron is not technically a legal city because it loses all the rules. They still haven't fixed that. Broken Realms Techless. I think this is where we're going to see a lot of the coalition units. Nice. Is that all we're going to see in this? It appears so. So yeah, coalition units, that's all we see from that. And all right, we'll come to the core rules last, I think. We'll do the core rules last, all right? So Battletome Sons of Behemoth, change the rule. Longshanks. Oh, yeah, you just can't end within 3 of an enemy unit. Effectively giving it fly. Nice. Solid and simple. Stormcast are going to be an interesting one. So what do we... This is an interesting one because a lot of these rules in Stormcast, I think we're going to see like play out in the new army book. Okay, so it's just it's talking about Yndrasta and their ability to make monsters fight weaker. Whoever's player's turn it is gets to decide which ability is going to work. Effectively is what that one is, and then they've not FAQ'd anything else because really there's not much point. Sylvaneth. Is an Awakened Wildwood considered to be a Wildwood? Yes. Winterleaf, Branch, or Blizzard. You can use this command ability when you pick a friendly Winterleaf unit to shoot. In the shooting phase, the unit must receive the command until the end of the phase. The unmodified hit rolls for a shooting attack by that unit of a 6 inflicts a mortal wound in addition to normal damage. Solid. But that is it for Sylvaneth. I think we're going through most of this pretty easily, to be honest. Wrath of the Everchosen is going to have some cool. Anything in? Munificent Wanderers. The unmodified hit roll for an attack made with a melee weapon that targets a friendly Munificent Wanderer's Daemon unit that is wholly within 12 inches of this general is 1. The attacking unit suffers a mortal wound after all of its attacks have been resolved. Cool. Nice clean up there from how that works. Monstrous Arcanum. Now, this is a legal match play document. So, what do we get in here? Alrighty, so we got Bone Grinder, Mega Gargant. Oh, there's a Mega Gargant Merc. Cool. So I think we'll do a whole section on this. We'll just leave this. This is just updated War Scrolls for everything. So I don't really think we need to go through that too much. We'll check out the General's Handbook errata though. See if anything else in the errata has changed. Cool. Something Gravelords, Terragast, and Zombie Dragon. Yeah. Single battle line in an Avanguri Dynasty army. So I think most of these are actually, because we haven't actually had the General's Handbook FAQ at all. So all of this here is new. So Predator's Domain Grand Strategy states when the battle ends. When do I check when the battle ends? Cool. So hold your ground in Power Struggle. So if you, in Power Struggle, have the objective in your opponent's turn, they take it off you, but then you gain it back in your turn, you have controlled it for 2 turns. So that's an interesting one on Hold Your Ground that I definitely was interested to know. Savage Gains. Yep, so they've clarified the border stuff and the vice. And then, yeah, just some updates. So Soulblight Gravelords, Terragast, and Zombie Dragons go to single, which is cool, as it should be. And then we've got all these other ones. Just adding some extra keywords, making sure, nothing too fancy there. And then we've got, this is really cool, though. I will say all of this stuff here is really cool. I'm not going to go into this because this is all Legends, and this is what I'm talking about with the Endless Spell here. All this is Warhammer Legends over here. Not got the updates for these, but then they had stuff updated. But I like that we've got all this Warhammer Legends stuff added. So I'm just going to quickly refresh my page and see if Flesh Eater Courts and all that come up. With new ones, or if we're indeed not getting one. Okay, I'm going to go with we're not getting one for now. So let's check out the core rules. This is the big one. Anything in magenta here? Alrighty, so we're looking at all the stuff for magenta here. So I think we got our first thing here. Hero Phase 7.0 states, in addition, in your hero phase, you can use friendly wizards to attempt to cast spells, and both can attempt to dispel endless spells. Can you clarify? 19.3.2. Excuse me. So you cannot use Redeploy and Unleash Hell command ability in the same turn. You can also finish your move halfway up a terrain feature. Can your unit jump down from a terrain feature that is more than a distance to the battlefield is greater than that unit's move? No. If an ability allows units to receive a command point. So this was a big one here. A lot of people argued on what this sort of thing here did. So if an ability allows a unit to receive a command point without the command point being issued and without a command point being spent, does the restriction that you cannot use the same command ability more than once in the same phase still apply? Yes. So this means things like Handgunners and Sister Watch from Cities of Sigmar cannot use that ability, and also another unit or multiple units of them. It also means the battalions that give you the ability to use a run command ability for free once per game do not give you an extra run, they just give you one for free. So solid, really good. Shooting phase, if a unit that receives redeploy command ability, no, we've got that again. 10.0 states, making shooting attacks with each model in the unit until you have shot with all the models. Can you clarify which takes precedence? Yes, it's just saying you have to pick your targets before you roll all your saves. Wards. This was an interesting one I saw in the thing. So in section 14.3 of the core rules, ward rolls are made to negate a wound or mortal wound before it is allocated to a model. However, many units in the game have abilities that trigger when a wound or mortal wound is allocated to a friendly model. Can you use abilities that negate or allocate wounds or mortal wounds after a ward roll? Yes. Okay. Some older abilities give bodyguard effects, such as Guardians on the Venari Blade Lord War Scroll or Selfless Protectors on the Saurus Guard War Scroll, that allow damage that would be allocated to a friendly hero to be allocated to a different friendly unit. Can I use abilities like this before or after I make ward rolls for the hero? No. These bodyguard abilities are used instead of making a ward roll for a hero for a wound or mortal wound that can be allocated to your hero. So, reading this, however... So section, ward rolls are made to negate a wound before it is allocated to model. However, many units in the game have abilities that trigger when a wound or mortal wound is allocated. Cool. So this effectively means no bodyguard abilities are used instead of making a ward roll or wound roll for a wound or mortal wound that be allocated to the hero. So this means the unit after can make ward saves on itself allocated to the hero, I think is what it's saying. But the model with the pass off is effectively getting a less good ward. What happens? So you can. What happens if a model making a piling move is equally distant from two enemy units? Can't pile in, so you can still sort of pin your opponents by getting 2 units to pin them, just rather than 2 models how you used to. Some factions can add terrain features to their army after the battle begins. Do they count as the faction terrain? Yes. So this means Sylvaneth Wildwoods and Nurgle Trees count as faction terrain on the table, meaning your opponent can smash them. And then, yeah, if the answer is above is yes, does the placement restrictions that apply to faction terrain features that are set up after the battle begins? Yes. So always have those rules on faction terrain setup. Sometimes it's possible to set up one or more models. The model is removed from play. Yep. So if you can't, this one was always a KO thing. If you had multiple models in a unit that you couldn't set up due to something getting destroyed or your boat blowing up or even a garrison getting smashed to rubble, if you can't place the models, they're just removed. So priest, when a priest attempts to summon an invocation, does it count towards the number of prayers that priest can chant? Yes. And so this one here, monsters, if you have a unit of monsters, can I do more than 1 monstrous rampage for the unit? Yes, so a unit of Man Crusher Gargants is in 3, can do 3 monstrous reactions if it wants. 18+1 states if an objective is placed on the border between 2 territories, is it considered to be within both of them? No. And so 18.2 states if a friendly unit has a model within 6 inches of 2 or more objectives, can I pick different models of the same unit to contest different objectives? No, a unit can only ever contest 1 singular objective. Do things that increase the range of a cast spell also apply to the distance of endless spell? Yes. That's a cool change, meaning all your buffs because of how they sort of worded endless spells now. Many rules state that a model becomes keyword or is a keyword where keyword is monster, hero, wizard, or priest. Do these rules apply? Yes. However, if a rule allows 1 model in the unit to be a keyword, only that model in the unit gains the relevant keyword. Some terrain features have the impassable on their war scroll, so yeah, you can't get rid of them. Is this a scenery rule for the purposes of demolish? No, so an impassable terrain piece stays impassable regardless if it's destroyed or not. Some terrain features, and then wildwoods stay as wildwoods on their war scroll if the scenery is demolished. So flaming weapon can be used on your mounts melee weapons, and unique characters can not take universal spells, so there is no flaming weapons on Archaon or Nagash or any of that stuff. This was always stuff we thought. It's just nice to have it in writing here. We've got sidebar notes. Companies 2.3 unit size mention the maximum unit size. So maximum unit size is judged on the maximum amount of models that can be added to the unit. So depending whether a unit is battle line or not, it could be take Drakespawn Knights in Cities of Sigmar for a sec. They are normally not battle line in Cities of Sigmar, so they can maximum unit size of 10. However, if you had a Dreadlord as Black Dragon in your unit, their maximum unit size becomes 15 because they become battle line. So that's what you got to look out for with that, because it can vary from case to case. You can take the same core battalion more than once in an army. Yes. Enhancements, mount traits, and so it just adds mount traits. You cannot take duplicates of mount traits is the last one here. So no, Metal Crusher Mayhem, we barely knew ye. And that does appear to be all the FAQs that are up. Like I said, we're not going to look at the legend stuff because it really doesn't apply. But I'd love to know everyone's thoughts on all the FAQs, what you saw. I think the KO one was pretty big. Archaon's change was nice with the Eye of Ed Sheeran. Ossiarch Bone Ripper is getting a really nice change as well. And the Horror War Scroll change was solid as well. And then the clear up of coalition units and some of the enhancement stuff was good as well. But that is all we have. So I would love to see and let me know what your favorite thing is. What's the thing you want to touched properly? Let us know in the comments below if something you wanted to see FAQ'd was not either changed or changed in a way you didn't like. Love to know everyone's thoughts, but I thought this changed up a lot of things for the game. So, like I said, thank you everyone for coming and watching. Stay safe, everyone. Stay well. Most of all, keep fighting that war against the Grey. We'll be back with a hobby hangout probably later tonight.